Ну что ж, всем привет. Сегодня я буду записывать основную сюжетку. Вот эту сюжетку будем проходить. Так что да. Ну, тут ивент еще есть, но через 5 дней буду проходить его где-то примерно. Будем проходить основную сюжетку. Я еще выбил Фурию. Мне она по характеру и по внешности нравится, так что я решил выбить. Так что да. Знаю, что она низкого уровня, но я все равно с ней буду проходить сюжетку. Если не пройду, то будет трудно, то я обратно лимитку поставлю. А так пока что с ней похожу. Да, я знаю, что ей нужен хиллер и так далее, но мне пофиг, в принципе. Как я сказал, я могу обратно поменять свой старый и свернуть ее миг. А пока я похожу с Фурей. Так, ну звук вроде нормальный, так что не должно быть громко, тихо. Но если так, ничего страшного было. Так, приступим.
Now for a little rest after breakfast. Wait a sec. Isn't something important supposed to happen today? Oh, today's our big day! We're supposed to leave the Fortress of Mirapede! Come on, we've got to go complete the release procedure.
Ай, блин.
Please, sign here. This document will be effective immediately upon signing, and you two may exit the Fortress of Mirapede via the regular
It's been so long since we've been to the surface. Let's... Huh?
What's happening? I'm fine, thanks. But
Let's go ask the Duke.
А это куда? А, у этого. Гризли. Открываем.
Your Grace?
Ah, good to see you two. Is there something you wish to...
Yeah, what was with that earthquake just now?
Ah, that. The tremor didn't originate from the seafloor. In fact, it seems it came from the surface. Over the years of serving as the warden here, I've developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what occurs underwater. Besides,
So the fortress is okay?
if you recall our last incident, if there really were a problem, there would be crowds of inmates in a panic right now.
Huh, you've got a point. Okay, seems we need to get back up to the surface. By the way, do you...
I believe today is this month.
Wait, seriously?
Ah, yes. Have you
Yep. It's you two. Are you leaving now? That's right. Today is our last day in prison. But now that Paimon says that, it doesn't feel like we were confined here. Oh yeah, Paimon feels fond of... Then be sure to come back and visit.
If you've signed the release papers, then you're free to go. The guard...
You're not going to see us off?
I knew you'd ask. All right, sure. But...
Well, you actually agreed. No worries.
Ah, so you do have a polite side.
After being down here for so long, I imagine you must feel like you're lacking companions. Yeah, don't worry. We'll come back to see you. Paimon really likes the cafeteria.
I hope you won't be here as convicts the next time I see you.
We'll do our best to stay out of trouble. Well, it seems our work in the Fortress of Mirapede to him now. Next up,
You're going to see Monsieur Nervillette? Please pass on our kind regards.
I'm sure just your regards will do, no?
I believe it would be.
You're right. I've heard the Palais has been terribly busy these days. Tell him that I hope he hasn't been overwhelmed by the recent
С ними поговорить можно, ну да. Мы с ними когда-то не было. Куда, блять? А. Я уже могу сюда. Так, секундочку, я кое-что забыл. Так, это у нас... Я могу это сделать? Я не могу. Ладно. Так, я забыл ее возвысить. Секундочку. Так, в принципе, все. Чтоб поменьше умирало.
The Palais Mermonia sure is buzzing with activity today.
Halt! Huh? Oh, it's you two. Apologies. Monsieur Nervillette did say you'd be welcome at any time.
Excuse me. Would you mind helping me take a...
I'll be right there. Sorry, I've got my hands full here.
Everyone's so busy. Seems. Neuvillette!
Hello. You've come at the right time, but you'll have to wait for just a moment, as there are some urgent matters I must tend to first. In the meantime, please, have a seat. If you'd like to have something to drink...
That's all right. We just ate.
Very well, then.
Let's take a break over there while we wait for him to finish his work.
Ошиблись часы.
All right. That should wrap things up for now.
Are you done with your work?
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting. Today should be the day you were released from the fortress of Meripede. And it appears that you've managed to...
That's right. And we came here to see you
A massive whale.
Do you have any idea what that might be?
Judging from your description, that cannot have occurred in any ordinary waters. A whale of that size and shape cannot usually be found in the waters of Tevat. Therefore, we can only assume that...
Immersed in primordial seawater? But how? And is he okay?
Most people wouldn't be capable of entering in the first place. I'm not completely sure how he could have gotten there myself. Yes? What is it?
Ah, right! Paimon felt it too! We asked the Duke and he said it wasn't from underwater, so we figured you might know something about it.
It turns out that I have just received a report about this particular matter. In fact, the source of the tremor was here on the surface near Poisson. After the shaking stopped, the water levels in the Poisson area rose.
The water levels rose? Oh no.
Fortunately, the water levels only rose for a short period of time, and have already returned to... If the change in water levels is connected with the leaking primordial seawater, then the situation in Poisson may be much...
Navia should be in Poisson, right? We need to go.
I would also like to go there as soon as possible, but I'm afraid I can't leave just yet. We must immediately formulate disaster prevention plans for the... I'll have to ask you two to go to Poisson first. I'll meet you there to check on the situation once I've finished.
There's no time to lose. Let's get going.
Please be careful.
should be around here, right? We need to make sure she's still... We haven't seen a single soul all the way here.
What will I ever do now?
Look, there's someone on the roof over there.
Just stay put. We're coming up. Watch your balance. All right. I'm not young anymore. How...
Oh, he looks pretty sad.
My leg. How could this have happened? It hurts.
Just hang in there. Help is on the way. You can...
Да, тотально здесь пиздец, конечно. Куда мне прыгать? Сюда? Спасибо, было легко.
She's over there. Hey, Navia, are you okay?
You're here.
We heard there was a situation in Poisson, so we...
Yes. As you can see, the water level suddenly rose.
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a building southeast of here. We've already transported him to safety, but we've run out...
He's wounded?
He fell, so it's probably a broken leg. He's pretty shaken up. When the water level rose, he desperately climbed up to the roof. Once the...
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1, and tell him to take the wounded resident to see a...
Understood. I'll take over his search and rescue mission in the meantime.
All right. You'll be in charge. I'm sorry. Where were we?
The situation in Poisson?
Ah, right. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud noise. At first, everyone thought that something might have exploded in the waterways. But before we knew it,
Что-то голос низким
water started... The rushing water seemed a little odd, almost like the unique color of primordial seawater. Some people, everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water, didn't have a chance to escape. Those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic, desperately trying to get to higher ground. The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot of casualties. The water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater, so the lower levels of Poisson are still hazardous. To ensure no one knows if this could happen again. All we can do for now is try our best to...
How awful. And all of this just came out...
It was quite frightening indeed. I only wish...
Is there any way we can help, Navia?
Thank you for being so willing to help in a moment of crisis like this. You don't know how much...
Don't say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
Понятно.
Demoiselle! We've got a situation here!
I'll be right there. Sorry, I need to go for now.
And off she goes. Seems it might be a while.
Okay, the wounded are being tended to, and we finished a preliminary head count. More support has just arrived, so, of course... we should remain ready for anything, and continue doing our best to rescue others. Traveler, Paimon, would you two accompany me?
Huh? Right now?
Thank you.
Я лучше так не развиваю.
Not a lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of day and the whole situation in Poisson,
Right. That's how things are?
Navia? Navia, what's wrong?
Sorry. I just... Maloose and Silver. They won't ever come back here again. What should I...
Huh? What happened to them?
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan, but still... They were helping evacuate the residents, but they couldn't leave in time, and they were caught in the seawater.
What should we do?
I've known them for so long. And I know they weren't afraid. I could at least hold a funeral for my father. And I know where he rests. But as for Maloose and Silver, they're just...
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect that you...
I can understand. Besides, the scenery here isn't half bad.
See, it's not just me. I always want to bring something when I visit Papa. Perhaps we might even have a picnic.
Ah, how could Master ever be upset with you, demoiselle? Yet the cemetery is the home of those who have passed, is it not?
Buying yourself a plot in advance, are you?
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Callus, demoiselle.
Hey, stop joking around.
I'm quite serious. That way, it will save us both the trip to see each other whenever you've...
That makes sense. In that case, could I be buried?
After all, besides you, demoiselle, the two of us could certainly...
Personally, I believe we fill those...
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. But I'd really prefer not to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I'd promised to let them rest in peace here. But here I am. I'm sorry for letting you see me in a mess like this. I don't usually cry.
Paimon doesn't know how to help you feel better.
I had always thought I could make my wishes come true. But now that I think about it, that never... Maloose and Silver have helped me so much. But I'm so sorry.
You can spend as much time as you need here, Navia. We'll stay with you.
Thank you. Right now, by the way, you can have a look at this.
Obena, Khan, Burnett, Giverny, Francine, Karina, Daisy Ray, Joinville, Julianne, Esson, as well as Maloose and Silver. So, everyone else is safe. But...
It's okay. I know what you're thinking. And you're right. The overall outcome indicates that the cost was worth it.
Right! Don't think that way, Navia. One person might... Malus and Silver were not the price for saving anyone. They're heroes.
You're right. Thank you, Paimon. What you said just now was pretty...
Oh.
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time since we last met.
Не понял. А ты откуда здесь? Арлекина вроде, да? Я уже забыл ее. Арлекина.
The knave? What are you doing here?
Is everything going well on your side?
Yes, my people are carrying out the mission according to your request. All the residents of Poisson have been evacuated, and we're preparing to As for these supplies, we have everything taken care of. There is no need to worry.
Thank you very much.
Wait, do you two know each other?
We just met recently. Right, Miss Navia?
Usually, I would call this a coincidental encounter. But that doesn't quite fit this time. Thanks to the knave, Spina di Rosula received generous support from the Fatui, which allowed us to complete the rescue and evacuation.
Mutual aid is essential to fostering positive developments. We were already in the area, in any case, so it was nothing. That said, I must say that you're a lot sharper than you let on.
I apologize for all the ways in which I tested you previously. We've never worked with the Fatui, but my subordinates have reported that Fatui soldiers have been observing water levels and taking head counts in various locations. I hear that they've also prepared a large amount of emergency supplies.
This is nothing to brag about, nor do I intend to. It is simply the way of powerful organizations to act forcefully, whether they... As I've told this traveler before, I know of the prophecy, and I intend to prevent the impending. Lending your organization a hand was a natural first step in accomplishing that. As such, do not be...
Without your help, there would have been many more casualties.
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Malus and Silver. I only wish that my...
Don't say that. You and your subordinates, as Paimon said, Malus and Silver didn't choose to sacrifice themselves for any specific person. I've never liked hearing people put it that way. It's like trying to relieve pain by saying some noble-sounding words.
You're right. I'm sorry for your loss, Miss Navia. Water is life to Fontaine's people, and it also spells disaster. It's no wonder that people...
So, you're one who will try to change fate, then?
Of course. That is why I'm going to Hotel Bouffe de Thé. I still have some things to take care of. By the way, traveler, Paimon, one more thing.
Alright, then we'll just... Huh? This isn't right. Paimon thought you would ask us to walk with you for a moment.
That is a clever and useful conversation technique, which I do like to use when necessary. Traveler, I'm sure you remember that I said we could work together when we had the chance. You and I both know that there may be issues with the Primordial Sea. Previously, it was the Fortress of Maripede's sluice gate, and this time it was the water levels in Poisson. Indeed. Allow me to share the latest intel I've received from the House of the Hearths. During some recent investigations, a child claimed to have discovered some ruins near Poisson. The ruins date back to ancient times. Judging by the dating of the ruins, they may be related to the prophecy and the coming crisis. The situation is becoming more urgent. My people initially came to prepare for ruin exploration. Unexpectedly, this...
So that's why the Fatui were already in...
I wanted to take the children along, but unfortunately, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine have all been dispatched to higher ground. Linny told me that outside of the house, the person they trust most is you, which is why I want to give you this task. The House of the Hearths members see each other as family, but Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you as such. I'm sure you already understand how earnest they consider their—
Oh! That somehow makes Paimon feel kinda...
The intel I just shared about the ruins could fetch a high price. But since the children consider you family, it's only—
Got it! So all we gotta do is go to some ruins, right? We can handle that.
Вообще.
Excuse me, but may I tag along?
You wish to join, Miss Navia?
But are you sure you're up to exploring some ruins? You need to rest.
Well, I'm sad, yes. But I can't. There's no point in being depressed while we still have a disaster on our hands. As my father's successor, I must live up to the hopes he had. Besides, I'm also doing this for myself.
Since you put it that way, I have no objections. What do you say? All right. The ruins are to the south of Poisson.
Okay, the three of us will handle it. Come on, let's pack up and...
Пешком идти. Окей. Вот и руины. Где вход, где проход?
So, are these the ruins the knave was talking about? Whoa.
They seem to be pretty ancient.
Let's go in and have a look.
Just be careful.
Проблема, у меня фурина не прокачана. Ну, как я сказал, если я не пройду данжен и все сдохнут, то в принципе я поменяю на старый отряд. Ну а так я с фуриной буду ходить пока что. Так. Они, по сути, быстрее, чтобы пятница началась, потому что у меня оружие 20 уровня. Так что из-за этого, скорее всего, я не очень будет полезно. Просто для реакции. Там пир или дембля. Так что да, по сути она просто так давит. Бесполезно. Что у меня? Ага, ну тут уже идти пошли.
Let's get it on!
Хилит у меня как? Хилит у меня так себя. Ну да, мне скорее всего отряд придется менять, потому что она взрёт хп и нихуя больше не хилит. Несмотря на то, что у нее слабый уровень, хилит она неплохо. Это не так прям сильно.
This place has also been contaminated by...
Yeah. And a lot of it, too. A Fontanian would most likely dissolve the moment they fell in.
Right! You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous and it won't be any... Don't get Paimon wrong. We're not saying you're used...
No, you're right. I can't do anything in this situation. I'll leave this to you. complicates things. Maybe the only way left is...
In that case, do you want to wait for us here?
The water levels here are unstable, and there's a chance I'll go together with you. Perhaps we'll find the exit just up ahead.
All right. Come with us for now then, but...
Так, а мне похуй на воду
it's a
или нет?
dead end! Let's try climbing over from the side.
А, то есть я сразу ухожу. Окей. Все-таки надо было со старым отрядом ходить, потому что у меня она все-таки слабая. А хила у меня нету, чтобы ее хилить и дамажить нормально. Так что хуёво. Ну, пофиг. Понял. Надеюсь, враги не будут такими трудными. Хотя, скорее всего, будут трудными. А чё? Ни хрена себе камера. А чё с камерой? Не понял. Ну-ка. А чё камера так отдалила, дети? Ни хрена себе камера отдалилась. А, куда? Сука. Ну вот, камера нормальная. Идем дальше. Ну-ка. Оп, камера увеличилась.
Wait, there's something wrong with this bridge.
Все, пизда. Больше нет навика. Жива. Али.
Demoiselle.
Huh?
Demoiselle, what are you doing here by yourself? Would you be standing here till dark if I hadn't come to...
Maybe she just wants some time to herself, Malus.
Hmm? Oh,
Yes, it would appear so.
I must...
That's quite possible. However, you were the one that's...
Oh, right. It must have slipped my mind when I dozed off. This is a familiar feeling, yet...
Is something the matter, Demoiselle?
Oh, no. No, I was just trying to recall why we came out for...
Do you remember Mr. Giverny? He'd requested our help before with foreign merchants.
We were headed to see how things were going with him at the moment.
Ah, right. Yes.
Oh, Miss Navia. Ah, Mr. Malus. And Mr. Silver, too.
How have you been?
I've been great. Thanks to your help, those bothersome merchants finally realized that I wasn't the one they were looking for. They were knocking at my door day and night. Even my neighbor, Obina, was getting fed up with them.
Sometimes force is required to calm...
That's right.
Oh, yes. Miss Navia, these are some flower seeds that I prepared. Please take them. I don't know what we would have done without your help. So this is a little token of our
Did you cultivate them yourself? Thank you so much.
Why, we can have as many pots as you'd like, Demoiselle.
Perfect. In that case, we'll swap out some of the decorative plants.
Very well.
Wait. Something... Excuse me, madam. If I'm not
That's right. Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. This is the first time we've ever met, but your name seemed... I've heard this name before. Sometime recently, I'm sure of it.
Типа, она не помнит, что он сейчас во сне, типа, и в такой галлюцинации.
And why are there's so few people around here.
We must mind the time, demoiselle. We still haven't...
Huh? We do?
Well, now, did you forget?
Miss Navia, here you are. I've been looking for you. Please, come to the Opera House.
My trial? Wait,
Yes, she's right, demoiselle. It's just about time now, so...
Oh?
Да, клоны пошли отлично.
Look, it's Navia. She's here.
And her two attendants are with her. Goodness, everyone's finally here.
There sure are a lot of people here to see the trial. And they all seem to be oddly... Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen. Why are so many people? And as for the judge...
Please sit in the defendant's seat. Don't worry, Silver and I shall accompany you.
All right. But are you...
Typically, it wouldn't be allowed, but today...
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
Come on. Do they have any idea what they're doing?
Enough with the whispering! Could someone...
My dear Miss Navia, have you not yet realized what you've done? In that case, allow me to explain. As all here know, you are Master Callus's successor, the head of the Spina di Rasula. After you took over the Spina, you treated all of us just like the late Master Callus had. If anyone in need reached out to you for help, not only you, but your butler, your subordinates, nearly everyone in the Spina di Rasula fought for the...
Wait a moment. Aren't you just...
Yes, correct. Absolutely right. And that is why you stand accused. You have helped so many people get... We are one big family. All of us who are from Poisson, inextricably linked. And with you being... Therefore, this fair and honorable court shall declare you guilty, and you shall stay here. You...
Huh? What? Everything you have said is correct. I have indeed done a lot for my hometown, and...
Oh, well, if that's what you...
How wonderful, Miss Navia!
Что за хуйня происходит?
I know all these people. Why are they laughing?
I seem to remember now.
Wait just a moment. This isn't right!
Malus?
What was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous. Let the court judge her now. She's...
Stay here, Navia! You're one of us!
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means to keep you here forever.
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr. Joinville, you only know of Navia's goodness, but not...
She was born a free and independent spirit. She has never been tied down by anything. Indeed, even the...
Her actions cannot serve as proof that she identifies herself as part of any group. She merely acted as a... Please do not mistake her actions as...
Really? As an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontanians here. This, even if Miss Navia only voluntarily rendered her assistance, that doesn't change the fact that her beautiful soul must return to everyone. Water accepts all, blends with all. Everything is measured here in the nation of Hydro. And in the end, Now I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay.
And you would call this justice? Preposterous. Have you forgotten how much you all once longed to be—
Do you mean to defy our justice?
If your justice is flawed, then why should we acknowledge it?
As you said, we can also have our own justice. And that is how we will enforce.
My head...
Demoiselle.
Silver, it hurts. My head is spinning. I remember now. Everything that seemed odd from the Vicarina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
Don't be afraid, and don't admit guilt. We will
Absurd! Who are you to say that she cannot be judged? We are the majority. Don't let them escape! We shall keep
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to us. After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
Заебись, окей.
What are you saying?
No more excuses!
He says we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly be an
What's with these people?
Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us!
Miss Navia.
Silence!
That's... Monsieur Neuvillette!
Such commotion is prohibited in the court. The accusations you just presented, the court will adjourn for the rest of the day. In this, I shall hear no objections from any
Our thanks, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Please leave with me, Miss Navia, while there is still time.
But...
Go on now, demoiselle. This is your only chance to leave this place. What, can't bear to leave us
loose?
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that this shall be our last goodbye.
Заплакала.
Malus. Silver.
Quickly, you must come now.
Goodbye, demoiselle.
Farewell.
Чё, кто на него лет придет? Что
No, wait! Just a second!
Navia?
You're awake? Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive, and they were...
It looks like you're all right.
Did all the sad feelings cause you to have a nightmare?
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. When I arrived, I found you falling toward the water. You were just about to be dissolved within, but I think I saw 2 Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even a fraction of a second. Were it not for their intervention, I would not have been able to rescue you before.
Wait, did you say Oceanids? You mean like what happened with Vache?
Perhaps those 2 Oceanids were the people you...
I always told them that they didn't have to protect me.
Please come with me.
Neuvillette, are you okay?
Oh, I am quite all right.
Why do you look so stiff all of a sudden? Oh, Paimon knows. You're the type who feels awkward when there's nothing to talk about.
I merely thought that we should give Navia some time to herself.
Huh? Why didn't you just say so then? Don't you think it's even more
I suppose so. Ah, Sigewinne. I hope all is well with her these days. Her...
No way! Don't worry. She's doing fine down there. She's an
I see. Well, that is good. I have always worried that Sigewinne would need a lot of time.
Oh, and the Duke also says hi. Even though Sigewinne made him do that. He hopes that you haven't been overwhelmed by all that's happened.
Thank you. I have indeed been busy lately, and I also hope...
He still doesn't know what to talk about. Let's chat about... So, Neuvillette,
Yes, of course.
this isn't going anywhere. Let's try something...
Yes, in fact. I had arranged to meet you in Poisson, but when I arrived, I discovered that the Fatui were helping the residents evacuate. They had even... Amid my astonishment, I ran into the knave, and we had a chat. She informed me that she had...
Yeah, we originally planned to meet up with you, but we thought you might still be busy with all those official documents. We didn't think exploring the ruin...
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
All right! Another one joins the party! Let's get going then!
Вылетайте мне не вылетно. Не так, ведь только и сформировалось. Тамак у меня пришли. Привет.
I see everything!
Блять, что и тут падает, что ли? Банный рот. Сука. Yes. Ну, походу реально надо старый отряд взять, почему-то, мне кажется. Да блин.
Everyone hold hands!
А тут я походу умру.
Everyone hold hands! Let's get it on!
Что это такое? Куб какой-то. Куб. Сука, спиздили. Сундук есть. Сундук. Сундука нет.
The show begins! like we've reached the end.
This is the place? There should not be any other hidden spaces in the...
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Ну, пророчество, да?
Slates. It seems like they were put here as an offering.
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
Ну, это, если не ошибаюсь, пророчество, которое говорили.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in the first empty spot is missing.
The surrounding walls also show signs of...
There's something written below. Let Paimon see. Reason dictates that this nation be destroyed.
It feels like someone left these slates and these words here for a purpose. But does he mean that Fontaine should be destroyed?
Интересно, почему?
That would fit the circumstances dictated by the prophecy, yes. Indeed, the slate's contents correspond...
There's a person kneeling here. She seems so dedicated. And there's a whole bunch of other people behind her doing the same.
And is that Lady Farina in the third image? Did the Hydro Archon fall into the water?
And is that a ring of people around her?
The fourth image. I know this one. This exactly matches the content of the prophecy.
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne.
И что это было?
More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it.
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur Neuvillette. Deciphering ancient stone slates isn't one of your...
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just look. This says that it's the history of the future, right? That means the
I really hope it doesn't mean...
Still, Paimon feels like these
That's right! If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the fourth, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before the third, where the Hydro Archon herself falls into the water?
And yet the order is reversed here.
If we go by timing, Lady Farina only emerges in the third image. That means that the person in the second image might be the previous Hydro Archon.
Egeria, then. I had never met her, but her appearance here does... The previous Archon kneeling before the floating island in the skies, as if confessing a sin.
Did she herself commit that sin? And also, I'm still wondering why these ancient stone slates are here at all. Judging from their contents...
But who would have created these slates and left these words here?
It seems that any further clues will have to come from Farina.
In that case, there's no time to lose. There's nothing else to be gained here.
Yeah, we better get somewhere safe for now.
Ну да. Это здесь полный пиздец. Ну да. Потому что если она наоборот будет, то это, в принципе, не так уж страшно. Страшно. Так, ну врагов не было таких сильных, потому что, в принципе... Окей. Блин, куда четвертая спиздилась, интересно. Я хочу это заскриншотить, мне нравится. Скриншотим. Себе просто на заметку сделаю. Может пригодится, хотя отлично нет, конечно. Вот, все сфоткал. Ну, выглядит как будто наоборот, типа, сначала это, потом это, и так далее, типа. Сундук же будет, да, сундук будет. Вот. Скоро мне будет 60 ранг приключения. Окей. Больше ничего тут нету. Выходим.
Let's split up here. I'm going to check on what's happening with the Spina. You know how it is. There's some things you just need to...
You still have energy for that, Navia? Paimon's already beat.
Just head back to the Fluvsandre and have a rest then.
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Traveler, I will go talk to Farina tomorrow morning to ask about the stone slates. I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office.
Are you really gonna talk to her about this directly? Will that be a problem?
She has long been harboring secrets and will not give them up easily, which makes it all the more my duty to ensure that she understands the present situation.
Alright, we'll leave it in your hands then.
I will be carefully considering my words tonight.
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fluvsandre is always open to you as a... All right. I'll be...
60-й. Все, съебался.
Welcome back. We've got a special menu prepared for you two tonight.
Yay! And there's good food too! Navi, no. Ooh, desserts! Nice! Hyman's already starting to forget what happened today.
Какие люди?
Oh, that voice. Is that who I think it is?
Huh?
Mona.
It's you two. What are you doing in Fontaine?
Mona?
Seriously, nobody just uses a scry glass whenever they've got time.
Still, we didn't expect to see you here. Wait, you're not a Fontainian.
Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel in the city. I was just out for a stroll. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that because Magistus doesn't sound much like a Mondstadter surname?
Yeah, let's go with it.
Well, I used to have my own surname, which was, well, some other thing. Either way, the old hag told me when she took me, there was nothing for it, really. She really is amazing at astrology, so I changed my name to what it is now according to her wishes.
It isn't?
Nope. Although it is used by us in place of surnames, it generally just means great.
Wow! Imagine including a boast.
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well, if I were to take one. Astromancer Barbeloth Trismegistus.
Ёпт, нихуя.
Whoa, that's a long one.
My name means Mona the Great Astrologist. As for the old hag, hers is, in plain speech, the thrice-as-great Scholar of the Stars.
Thrice as great? That's so...
I know, right? That's just how she is. She used to call herself Magistus, actually.
Talk about excessive.
Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it about the same as a surname. It's all right if you don't get it. You can look into it further should you need to study astrology more deep.
That sounds terrible! But anyway, you're not Fontainian, are you, Mona? You're from
Well, I was born in Mondstadt, yes. My parents migrated to Dorman Port, and I traveled with the old hag for a while.
Oh, that's a good thing then. At least we know you.
Speaking of that, I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened here in Fontaine, right? I know you're not a local, but there's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean. That was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the Steambird, the invitation was sent quite early on. I don't think anyone...
What do you make of that prophecy, Mona? Just tell us what you think as an astrologist. Your word would go a long way to make things more certain.
What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist. And that this prophecy concerns the fate of I'm afraid that this is not something that just anyone can do. If I could do it, you would no longer call... But on the flip side, The prophecy is so huge and powerful that it must surely come from a powerful
A visionary? Sounds really powerful and all.
Of course. The old hag could do it. And I bet there are others amongst those Hexenzirkel colleagues of hers who could do some. Are you sure? All right, I'll help you. It isn't often that I see you with such.
Thanks, Mona. You're amazing as always.
Oh, well, this is some.
That's the greatest of astrologists for you, of all the people.
Indeed. That's the spirit.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about. If there's anything.
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business now.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina guy giving us suspicious looks. If Paimon hadn't spoken for you, it'd be you getting all the weird. That's more like it. Good morning. To be honest, Paimon's still feeling kind of sleepy. But it's time to get up, traveler. We agreed to go see Neuvillette, so let's pack.
Не понял, чё. Окей. Ранг, блядь, 60 ранг. Спустя сколько, блядь? 3-4, блядь. Вот, конечно. С самого начала, блядь, играю. Похилить. Надо похилиться. Так, ну буквально еще 20 минут снимаю видео и заканчиваю. Потом еще раз где-нибудь часик столько, и в принципе сюжетку почти закончена, скорее всего. Потому что хуй поймешь, как закончится сюжетка. У людей то 4 часа, то 6 часов они проходят сюжетку. Так что да. А что случилось?
Is something wrong?
Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please.
А что за пиздец там происходит? Ничего же никто.
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us.
Разборки.
It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
You mean they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know, but you found them in some ancient...
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 feature different images that seem to correlate to the prophet.
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you...
I don't. I've never seen such
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for...
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing?
Ну, может, потому что ты Архон, блядь, и должна все знать, нахуй, о прошлом, по крайней мере, своем.
I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just...
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters. There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
So you've been watching me all this time?
You.
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually... There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me. You're Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodle!
И съебалась.
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was smiling. Huh. She didn't seem in the mood to...
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh! You noticed! Seems for...
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so what... Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear we may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to...
Oh? Like what?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just...
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
Ну, чтоб людей, наверное, не было во всем этом.
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what...
Просто людей сказать, чтобы они на улицах не ходили, и все, Альфреда сразу пизданется.
If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from... This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious, and so we... But who will lend us their aid to...
Орликини, что ли, наверное. Больше нет, скорее всего. Нави, Орликини. Больше не помню, кому еще
That's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing.
That's what family should do. Sit.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me?
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spot...
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something. As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand, and used on the spot.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance.
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your boss.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette,
I've also gone diving.
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to, though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society. Taking up arm, a trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now...
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so...
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the ball.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like...
Calm and steady.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the... I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough. And...
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, but I do have one more question for you, Monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle...
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and...
Wait, why is that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it.
So...
We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting... But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god.
Oh, so that's what's going on.
Так, наверное, чуть посидим, сейчас поболтаем с кем-то, и закончим. Будет вторая часть дальше. Две части.
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much has been happening. Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just, it's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice you doing that at all. Then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea.
Who's that voice?
Aw, have you forgotten me?
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice...
The voice from the sky, You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling previously. I sensed that confusion. Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from a... The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled.
What?
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Tevat so easily be changed? Ah, so you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the god's gaze does not fall? Are the things that you shall see different from the fate?
What is she talking about?
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality.
The voice. Huh? Alright, coming! Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively band.
Mona!
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Not all Fontanians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should make their own rescue prep.
Did she have pink hair by...
Why, yes! It was Charlotte. You remember her, right? That I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people...
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible.
Yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach the old hag. I'll try again tonight, but... Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold, if you ask.
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is but I've never met her. And if she were still alive, she'd be...
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group.
But their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to perhaps it is something that you cannot know. Traveler, Paimon? Are you...
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now.
I see. I feel that same sense. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. But even so, I still hope for and believe in. Perhaps that's what N was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart. I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if...
Huh. You do have a point.
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. Sorry about that. It was worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I suppose that might be why we always...
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said. Hey, Traveler. Paimon suddenly feels like going... Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk.
Я даже догадываюсь, кто это за... из ведьминых шляп или как-то малых. Я, походу, даже догадываюсь, кто. Если это, конечно, не она, то, в принципе, ладно. Так. Когда был стрим, типа, про, эту версию 1.2, там вроде кто-то уже был, скорее всего. Может, это она, но вряд ли, конечно. Потому что, если не ошибаюсь, она была наставницей порталей, а не этой. Так что, может быть, мне кажется, даже она может не только быть наставницей порталей, но еще и этим. Это мое предупреждение. Предположение.
What's going on? Let Paimon see. The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy. My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report? A blonde adventurer with their white fairy legends trailing in their wake. It is said that this so while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the tales of the traveler, journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet, the Traveler's Trail, World Walker. Huh. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and she hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using... seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look...
Куда они?
We're here! Paimon's hungry. Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition, only 16 slices a day cake! It was so delicious the last time we tried it! Despite the tense situation we were in, let's give it another go, Paimon!
1 slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all! Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right.
Wait, did he really say something like...
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my...
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe...
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No, still, even if there'd be no more... No, it's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on.
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call...
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily. Yes, and you can only lift their spirit. I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now. You two try to stay in a good...
And there she goes! Alright, let's dig in. Paimon's sure this... It's more delicious than last time! And the flavor gets even better with this... Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food here. Oh! We're near the Steambird office! Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Charlotte.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Ha! You've got some nerve! You just used us to make some quick...
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard that you were in Poisson some time back, so I sent you a letter to discuss... It's all right, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even set the table with some...
Really? Oh, yeah!
You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior motives, you'd be in trouble now.
Oh, Paimon knows you're not like that.
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden? Were you looking for me?
When Mona mentioned you, we thought of coming to see you at work.
I see. It seems you've already bumped into Mona here. So she mentioned me? What did she say?
She said that you're a real daredevil of a...
Nice. In which case, can this daredevil journalist dare to request an exclusive interview with the
Huh? So your article in the paper today...
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the things you've seen.
Yeah, are we even qualified?
Why not? If I say you're worth an interview, then you're worth it. But not right now, of course.
Oh, in that case, we'll just chat with...
Oh, so that's a yes? Splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief. Whew, so much to get done now. Talk to you.
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example, Fontaine were to be flooded tomorrow?
Huh. That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often. If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty. From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, so in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish and then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic. But I do love my job. And I'd be proud of leaving such... But anyway, that's my answer. And on that note, I'll get...
That's so nice. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing Paimon's been thinking. If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow. No, Paimon should ask if you could... We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. We didn't... You mean... still traveling? Huh. Wait, is... Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay. But it's still better than the Fortress of Meropide, that's for sure. It's not a...
Ah, so the two of you are still here.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the Fortress of Meropide. Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Actually, I'm here to pass along yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared...
A riot?
Well, that said, I don't personally think it was that serious. Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis. And before she could respond, others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
Yes.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
So what happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten... The Maréchaussée Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we...
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right. The Maréchaussée has dispatched many people to search for her. That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god, after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her? Good. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to tell you about the situation.
Don't worry. This is more than enough to...
Ah, is that so? Well...
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then. If we know Farina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. Instead, she'll look and as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of... When Nervillet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Poisson, It would be hard for her to ignore being accused by the public today. Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson. Huh. Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis to back it up too. Cool, huh? In that case, there's not a moment to lose.
Так, давайте уж закончим на этом. Закончим в следующей серии, наверное. Сколько там будет у меня еще. Так что увидимся в следующей серии. Пока-пока.